Welcome to Colour Club. It's the last session of Zombie Week, so yeah, we're going to draw another zombie. Just a little tiny bit of blending in this one. Nice simple character, loads of opportunity for you to muck around with it and do something a little bit different with it. The main thing I want to show you about today is just a real nice way of kind of like putting broken bits of skin around the back of the mouth. So little stringy bits of skin and weird stuff, and like broken bits of skin in the head as well. So that's the weird stuff that we're going to concentrate on today. We're not going to use too many colours, and like I said, the character is going to be nice and simple as well. Here are the colours that I'm using. Let me get a little bit closer than that. They're the colours that I'm using. So essentially, let's just sort these out a little bit, shall we? That's a little bit better. So I've got a couple of brown greys for the eyebrows. I'm using the lilac and the purple of the amethyst. Those two, like a light purple and a darker purple, those two are going to be for like the main skin colour of this character. So yeah, but obviously mix that up. You know, you can go for whatever colour eyebrows you want. You go for whatever colour skin you want. The only thing I would say is when we do the eyeballs, I'm going to use ice grey and the blender pen. So if you've got a blender pen, go and use that today. We're going to practice with the blender pen just a little bit. It's one that we don't... Yeah, I think that's a blender pen, isn't it? Donut. We'll find out later. It's one that we don't use that much, so we're going to use the ice grey and the blender just to put a little bit of a shadow on the teeth, but also a little bit of a shape around the eyeball as well. Getting into the mouth, a couple of real dark reds, cherry red and burgundy for inside the mouth, okay? And that's, I think that's pretty much going to be it. We'll use that cherry red and the burgundy. We're going to use that when we break the skin open and for the nose holes and stuff like that. We're going to bring that red back in. Okay, loads of bits of work on the... Oh, look at these pens I've got out. They're completely the wrong pens. But yeah, okay, let's try that again. You want a fat pen and a thin pen. Where's my... I'm always going for like a 0.5 and a 0.1 at the moment. So yeah, I've got all my pens out there. But yeah, 0.5 and a 0.1. So fat pen and thin pen for the little tiny details. And we're all losers here, so grab a pencil because we are going to put some pencil lines on as well. Okay. Okay. You ready for this then? So don't forget, if you don't want to draw too big, you don't want to do too much colouring in, or if your pens are running out a little bit, then just draw a little bit smaller. All we're going to do is the head of the zombie and the neck that is going to be broken off. Okay, nice and simple. First thing we'll do is let's go and put in the mouth. Now the mouth is going to be a U shape on its side like that. Round the back though, let's try and square it off a little bit. So let's go about here with the shape a little bit like that. I will zoom in and out so you can see that a little bit better. Look, there you go, that kind of a shape. Yeah, that's for the mouth. Let's go across the top of the head. The top of the head's going to be nice and easy. We're just going to go up all the way around over to this side like that. Bottom of the mouth is going to be nice and easy, so do the same kind of thing, just make it a little bit thinner as we go this side. Look, we're not joining those two lines up because where those two lines should be pointing at each other, we'll go and throw in an ear. Lovely, we've got that. Let's go and put some furniture on this face. Let's go and whack in some eyes. Two circles. First circle over here, straddling that pencil line. Yeah, that's it, Nicola. You got it. Second circle over here. Somewhere over there anyway. Somewhere in the middle of that head. So it's going to be looking like our character is definitely looking that way, okay? Throw in the eyebrows. We're going to put in some little like rectangular shapes for the eyebrows, nice and fat. So let's go like that over there and like that over there. Angry eyebrows, fat eyebrows, thin eyebrows, doesn't really matter. Just chuck in a couple of eyebrows there. Okay. Next bit we're going to do is we're going to add some skin to the back of our mouth. Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll put the teeth in afterwards. Okay, so we've got our main shape in there. Let me zoom right in over here. So what we're going to do, like, put some skin in. This is the same way as if you're doing pizza and things like that. Let's go and put a little line that goes from the bottom to the top. From the bottom to the top like that. See how it's kind of flared out at the top a little bit, flared out at the bottom just a little tiny bit. Let's do that kind of stuff. Let's do another one over here. And I think that'll do for the time being. Okay, we're going to throw some teeth in. Now, one of the teeth needs to underlap the skin. Just there, okay? So look, imagine there's going to be a tooth there. Just sits behind that bit of skin. Throw in 2 more teeth at the front of that character. Wonky as hell. Down at the bottom, chuck 3 teeth in as well. Try and have it so that last one overlaps or underlaps a bit of skin. Just a couple more lines, then we're done. Let's go and throw in the tongue. So the tongue is just going to be a curve going from this tooth all the way to the back like that. There's our tongue. And then finish off by throwing in the back of the mouth. The back of the mouth is just a little line that goes from one tooth to the other tooth up like that. You can put it on whichever teeth you want, depending on how wide you want that mouth to be. Well, that looks good. Let's throw in a neck at the back there with a little zigzag to show that it's broken off. This is good. This is where we need to be. Okay, let's go and rub out some lines, shall we? I would if I had an actual rubber. Here we go. Rubbers are for losers. Let's go and rub out those lines. So specifically these ones over here, the ones that are kind of... We've got an eyebrow and the eye straddling over that. Let's get rid of those. I'm putting the lines back in. You don't necessarily need to put these lines back in. I'm only doing this so that you can see what it looks like, what it should look like. But you'll see a little bit of pencil residue in there somewhere. So you'll be able to know which bits to colour in, which bits not to colour in. Okay, then those little bits of skin. We want to attach these bits of skin that we drew, attach them to the face a little bit. So let's just rub these bits out. And just attach them to the face like that, look. There we go. So you can see how that's kind of looking a little bit more like holes in the face. That'll do. That's good. So whenever I'm colouring in, I always like to start with the easy bits first, work my way into it, do the complicated bits last. So we're going to do the easy bits first. Okay, so I had a couple of browns, a couple of black browns, black, brown and brown grey. So essentially just some just darker grey colours. They don't have to be black brown. These are your eyebrow colours that we're going for here. Okay, And all we're going to do is just going to add a little bit of the lighter colour onto both eyebrows, throw on a big fat shadow with the black brown, and then get back on with the brown grey to blend it all in. Let's do it. So grab your lids off and let's go and put in this light grey first. I mean, it's meant to be light, but look how dark it is. Lovely. Of course, go with whatever colour you want. There's no pressure to use exactly the same colours as me. I always like it when people go for completely different colours. But let's do that, and then let's put a little tiny shadow down the bottom, like that. Much bigger shadow at the top, on the side, sorry. There's our shadow. Just give it a little tickle, just to blend in the edges a little bit. That's our first eyebrow. Let's go and do the next one. So this time, back in with the lighter colour first. Chuck on all that lighter colour. Shadow's going to be a little bit smaller this time, so let's just go for a small one across the bottom, a small one across the side there, and give that a little bit of a blend, just a little bit of a tickle over that line. Just trying to tease that dark shadow out just a little bit. There we go. We can get back on those. We can put a little bit more texture in there if we want to. A little bit later. Easy, yeah? Easy. Stage one of the easy bits done. Let's go and do some more easy bits. Let's go and work in those eyeballs next. So with the eyeball, we're going to use the blender pen and the light grey. And what we're going to do is going to colour the eyeball in with the blender pen. Then we're going to get a little tickle of light grey around the bottom right hand side. Just curve it around the underside of the eye and then blend it in. So what we're going to do with the blender pen is make it all nice and wet inside there. Add that shadow and then blend it in with that blender pen again. Difficult to see, so just make sure to spend a bit of time making sure that you've definitely covered your whole eyeball. Especially around the areas that you're going to put the shadow in. Just about see that, can't you? Then let's go and whack this big shadow in. Big shadow like that. Go and blend it in. So just drag in that line backwards and forwards. Softening that edge up as much as you can. Give it another little bit of grey down there in the bottom right. If you dilute it too much, if you put too much blender in there, it's just going to dilute it too much. Don't forget your colours will go a little bit lighter as they dry as well. Right, let's do the other eyeball as well. You want to get that nice fade going from grey to the white of the paper. That's what we're aiming for. Big old shadow. Tickle over the line, give it a little blend. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer to get your line to blend, so just keep on working it, especially if you've got this I'm using Spectrum Noir Premium marker pad paper. If you've got that, it will eventually just give up and it will kind of slowly give you a bit of a fade in there. So just keep working it. Bit more grey look. If you dilute it too much, chuck a little bit more grey in there. Really nice and subtle there with those shapes. Now I reckon in the teeth, what I'm going to do with the teeth is I'm not going to blend them in. I'm just going to put a little tiny grey stripe on the right hand side and across the top of the top set of teeth. Okay, so what I mean by that is across the top, look, just there, and across the side, just there. But I'm going to leave that like that. I'm not going to bother blending that one in. I want it to be a sharp shadow. Do the same over that side. Now as you move across, watch this. What we're going to do on this one is we're definitely going to put the little shadow across the top. But as we go behind that bit of skin, we've got to make out that that bit of skin is casting a shadow as well. Bottom set of teeth, we don't have to worry about the shadow going across. We just have to worry about the shadow on the right hand side. There it is. It's a little shadow there. So just going to throw in those shadows. Okay, let's keep it going. Let's go and jump in the mouth now. What we're going to do is we're going to do two colours in the mouth. Where's the reds? I've got a cherry red and a burgundy, so a dark red and a really dark red. We're going to colour the tongue in with the red, and then put a little bit of that burgundy right at the back of the tongue, drag it in, okay? Then we're going to colour the back of the mouth in with the burgundy and the red as well. Okay, let's see how this looks, shall we? So lids off. Let's go and do the tongue first. So this area all in red first. Get that little bit of tongue going behind there as well. And you will have a little bit of that section there. So get into all of those sections. And then with your darker colour, just go and add a little bit of a shadow down the back here. There we go, just something like that, right at the back of the mouth. Drag it across. Awesome. We're going to do something similar to that. We're going to do this on the back of the mouth. So we're going to start off with the red. What we're going to do is just a bit of a stripe of red. Just maybe go until you're just about to reach the tongue. As you reach the tongue, that's when you want to go in with the darker colour. And so the back of the mouth is all going to be in the darker red. Okay. Still work your way back in here to blend it in as well. But start off with that lighter red first. Get into all those little cracks as much as possible. We've only got thin black lines to hide any mistakes, so pay a bit of attention to it. Try and get it just right. And there we go. As you get to about this point, look, just kind of reaching out towards where the tongue starts. This is where you want to be moving over to the darker colour. Start putting that darker colour in. You are of course going to go back with that lighter colour and blend that line in. Just try and soften that line as much as possible. Back in with that darker colour. It's going to finish the back of the mouth. So essentially we're just using the same two colours in the mouth, and the same technique of putting the shadow at the back. Because we've shifted the shadow across a little bit, we should still see a definition, some sort of definition between the tongue and the back of the mouth. Awesome. See those stringy bits of skin? They're starting to show through a little bit as well. That's kind of what we want. Okay, keep hold of that red pen, just the regular red pen. Just going to do a couple more bits in here. So for example, let's go into the nose. We're going to put in 2 triangles. Two triangles in between the eyes for the nose. But we're also going to take off a few little patches of skin. So just around the back of the head here, we'll only add a few in. Just around the back of the head, just go and put in like a random shape like that, and then next to that random shape do a smaller one. Like that. In fact, you can do that as many times as you want. You can put a couple of those patches in all over the place. Put some over the forehead, in the chin, whatever you want. I'm going to keep it quite simple though. I'm just going to put that little bit in on its own. Okay, final stage. Final stage of colouring in. We're going to start over on this side. We're going to work our way across our character, and we're just going to put in a little tiny dark shadow down the bottom right here. Okay, so if you remember the two colours that I've used quite a pale lilac colour and then quite a dark amethyst. It's going to give me a bit of contrast in here. So let's see how this works. You wanted lighter colour first. There's my darker colour. I'll keep that handy for later. Always to be thinking about where you're going to put your shadows, because that's the last bit you want to be colouring in. I'm going to go from there. I'm going to go all the way across the face and then down, and then start adding the shadows as I go down into this bit. Okay, so lighter colour first. Up here it's all just going to be that light colour on its own. Getting into all those little cracks. We are going to add a bit of a shadow around the eyes as well actually, but we'll do that in a little while. Now one of the good things about drawing zombies is if your colouring in is a little bit blotchy, it doesn't really matter too much, because then it will absolutely suit what the zombie looks like. So keep on working your way across. Knowing that at some stage when you get to this right hand side you are going to start adding in some little shadows, and then we'll work those shadows in on the fly. So here we go, there's my first area where I'm going to put a bit of a shadow in. Let's see what it looks like. Quite a dark shadow look, love that. Let's give it a little scrub. Going to go and get the stiffer nib out. If you're struggling to get any kind of, if you're struggling to dilute or to mix up the ink, just get the stiffer nib out, because you can get more pressure on there. There we go, look at that fade that we've got going in there. Let's get into this skin, going across there. At the back here, I'm going to do almost the whole of the ear in this darker colour. Whole of the ear, a little bit going down the side there as well. Let's go and blend that in. Keep on working your way across. Top of the lip, you can probably afford to leave that very, very white. Because it's the top of the lip, would have quite a bit of sunlight hitting it, so a little white line across the top of it would look quite nice. One last shadow underneath. Across there. There we go, a nice little blend. Finish off with the neck. Going to go in just a dark colour on the neck. It's all hidden away under there at the back of the head, so no need to have any light colour in there at all. Lovely. Okay, a couple more things then before we move on and think about outlining, because we are drastically running out of time. Let's just go and get the thinner nib. So thin nib for this dark shadow that you've used. We're just going to go around the eyes, look. So just around there, maybe like 2 strokes thick, something like that. Let's go around the other eye as well. So we've got these real thick dark lines coming out around the eyes like that. You're also going to do a little tiny stripe across the back. You see these stringy bits going across the mouth, across the right hand side of those as well. So just here, look, and just there. And you know what? I think we'll get away with doing one across the top lip. One last little line across the top lip. Just there. How are we doing? I think that's colouring in done. Let's leave it like that. We're going to come back to it in a little while. We're going to add some extra little patterns to it. Loads of black outlines. That kind of stuff. Right? Anybody want to show what they've done so far? I'd love to see the colours that people have chosen. Daniel's first up. You gone purples? Yeah, that's awesome, mate. That's looking really good. Absolutely spot on. You'd figure out where your camera is. Pencils are for losers. Yeah, pencils are for zombies. Cross out losers and put zombies. That'd be brilliant. Elsa's gone. Traditional greens. Yeah, the greens look nice. Really makes the red pop out nicely. Yeah, that's lovely, that is. Oh, those little browns you put in the eyebrows. Because I'm going to put a little few tufts of hair on the back with a black pen. It might be interesting to see if we can put some like tufts of hair with the those brown pens as well. Yeah, nice work, Elsa. Thank you very much. Nicola, how are you getting on? Let's have a quick look at yours. Before we put any black outlines on. There it is. Oh, look at that. Loads of little broken bits of skin. That looks really sore. That's exactly what we want. Yeah, nice work, Nicola. Thanks, mate. That's fantastic. Yeah. Good work, Donut. Good work, mate. Good work. Love that. Pencils are for zombies. Maybe we should cross out pencils and put zombies are for losers. I don't know. Overthinking it now. Let's get back on it then. So fat pen first. Let's go in with our fat pen. We're going to throw on some of the main outlines. Then we'll go in with a thin pen. Throw on some secondary outlines. And then we'll just have a little bit of fun with it. Some texture, some extra little spots and things like that. Let's go in with that fat pen on 0.5 around the eyebrows. Of course, we're going to double line everything we do. And we're going to make it double wonky as well. Smooth lines are overrated. So go in with those. Then let's go around the eyeballs as well. Just the eyeballs. Of course, we can make those wonky. Nobody says an eyeball has to be ball shaped. Around both eyeballs like that. Going around it twice, making it nice and wonky. Let's get straight in and stick in some crazy eyes, shall we? Go and put some pupils in. Let's go put one pupil over there, one pupil over there. Look at that, terrifying. Outline the nose. Got those two little triangles, just go and chuck a little outline around those. On your character, anywhere across the top of the head where you've got these little holes of skin, these little sore bits, we're going to outline those as well. So if you've got a few on there, you want to get those done. We're getting there. This is looking nice. Let's go and outline the rest of the head now. So we're going to go all the way across the top of the head. Starting over here where the lip is, get into the eye. Behind the eye, from the eye to the eyebrow, go and do that bit. All the way across the top of the head. Keep it nice and wonky. And then down the other side to the ear. Let's get into the mouth. Remember, we're going around those stringy bits, yeah? Try to avoid going over the shadow lines, these real subtle shadow lines that we've got. There you go, there's our line. All the way across, down that stringy bit, across that bottom lip. You should be able to see, if you left a little bit of white across that bottom lip, you should be able to see that little bit of white showing up across there, just making it stand out a bit. Let's get into this other hole, start outlining these holes now. They're looking good. Keep it going. We'll go back into the mouth in a little while, but let's just keep going around the outside of the mouth. Let's go around the ear. As you go across the chin, go just cut the neck out completely. Make like the neck's not even there. This bit underneath, you can afford to go quite thick with your lines. It's where the shadows are, so it doesn't matter if your line work is a little bit thicker down there. Finish off around the throat. Put some blood and guts or something weird coming out of that throat if you want. Double line everything you do. Double lining not only makes your black line a little bit blacker, but also makes your line wonkier. So you want everything to be that wonky. Right, stick with your fat pen. Let's get into the teeth. Outline all those teeth, strong intersections. So where those lines kind of join the top of the gum, just make that part of the line a little bit thicker. Sometimes it's only just like fractions of millimeters, but it's worth doing. Get into those bottom teeth, do the same on the bottom teeth. Remember, we're going around the tooth, so it includes the shadow. Make sure you go round that shadow. We are going to put a little line in where the shadows are, just to make them pop out a little bit. But we'll do that with a thinner pen. 2 more lines around the tongue, around the back of the mouth. Let's go and do that. Around the tongue, back of the mouth. Beautiful. In fact, what we'll do is should we just go and quickly put a cross in the ear? Just put a little cross in the ear. Let's you can put whatever kind of inner ear that you want. I've shown you how to do a few. But I'm just going to put a little cross in like that for my ear this time. One last thing then with this black pen before we go into our thinner pen, just around the back of the neck. We want to make that neck look like it's a little bit further back, okay? So just thicken out that line just there, that black line. Thicken it out like that. See how it just makes the back of, it makes that neck look like it's a little bit further back, yeah? That's what we're going for. Okay, let's go and grab our thin black pen. We're going to add a few little details with a thin black pen, then we'll get back in with the colour. So the few little details are things like going around the eyebrows. Look. Flick a few lines across the eyebrows like that. Maybe on those eyebrows, make them a little bit hairier by flicking a few lines out here and there. into the nostril, right? Watch this. What we're going to do in the nostril, we're just going to put in some little tiny shapes. So a little line across there. Take out that little bottom corner. Then also a line going just down there. Give the around your eyes, you know we did those purple bits around the eyes, give them a real dashed and dotted line. Really broken line, this one. Do you want to put any little spots inside the eyes whilst we're here? Can hardly see those. Okay, remember these little marks that we made at the back of the head? We're going to add a drop shadow, make it look like it's a hole in the skin. So the drop shadow's on the inside this side. So it's going to be about there and about there. Same on this little bit, let's just put a little drop shadow on that side. You see how by putting those shadows in, it just makes it look like it's underneath. You could probably even put some little lines in there, like we did in Doodle Club. Give it a little bit of texture in there, that's nice. Okay, jump into the teeth, just flick a few lines around in the teeth. Don't think about it too much, just flick some lines in. Especially where those shadows are, look. Just little subtle lines on where those shadows are. Lovely stuff. Right, that's good for now. Have a little bit of fun with your character from now on then. We'll spend a couple of minutes in. I'll talk through what I'm going to do on mine, but think about adding like extra spots to your character. Maybe you want to add some extra little patches. Maybe you want to add some extra drips. Maybe you want to power line it. Maybe you want to throw on some hair. There's loads of things you can do, but just go and personalize your piece a little bit. I'm going to throw in some hairs first. Nothing too much, maybe a few coming out the chin as well. Hairs look great. Gonna add in a few little drips on my character as well. Drip on the ear, look. Definitely going to get back in with those original colours. Put a bit of texture on my character. So look, here we go with some spots everywhere. So I'm using the darker colour first. So I'm going to go down in all this dark area where the shadows are. Just put my spots in there first. But then use your lighter colour. Come over this side, just give it a double dose of that lighter colour, and then you'll just get some real subtle spots coming out. is looking good. What else can we do? Maybe put some taste buds on, little kind of U shapes on for the taste buds. That's always a nice little treat. Let's go and do that. At the back of the throat there, maybe we can actually see the tonsils. See what that looks like. Putting in the tonsils right at the back. I think we're just about getting there. I'm going to go in my thin pen, just add a few more hairs. So I've got some fat hairs and some thin hairs coming out there. What else can we do? I think we're going to finish about there. I'm going to draw a couple of flies coming out the mouth because that's going to be pretty grim. Oh, looks like he's eating them. Yeah, I'm not going to do a line for the flies. Awesome. Right, I'm going to take some of the red colours. I'm just going to put some little bit of some spots around the outside of the character with the red. It's going to look like a bit of blood splatter, so that's going to look really cool. I'm going to throw that in and then we're going to finish. Okay, so brace yourself because we are on the home straight. Last couple of minutes. There we go, a couple of normal red ones, a couple of dark red ones in there as well. Going way too crazy with that. What do you reckon? I think we're going to leave it at that. There we go. Beautiful little zombie piece. So yeah, main lesson for that was just that ability to be able to draw those stringy bits of skin across the face. You can have these bits look great when you do them in Posca as well. Have them going across the back of the mouth, across the eyes, that kind of thing. Always looks good. And then again, that bit as well, that little bit of texture in the holes in the skin, make it look really sore. Okay, let's leave it there. Awesome. Nice little zombie piece. Right, when you're ready, let's have a little look, see how everybody else is getting on. So whip yourself into gallery view. Hold it up to screen. When you're ready, no rush. We've got a couple of seconds if you want to finish off. Easy going there. Nice. That looks really cool. I love the fact that yours is boss-eyed as well. Elsa, that looks nice. Yeah, perfect stuff. Awesome. Is that some stitching on the top of the head as well? Did I see some stitching? Yeah, what a great idea. Why didn't I think of that? Stitches is a great idea. Cheers, Elsa. Thank you, mate. Love it. Donut, how did you get on? My new street art name is Capybara Donut. Okay. Fair enough, mate. The most important thing when thinking about your street art name is making sure that you can get the Instagram handle for it as well. So I'm pretty sure Capybara Donut is going to be available. Nice work on that. A little hidden donut as well behind the ear. That's where donuts belong, isn't it? Yeah, lovely stuff. Well done, Daniel. That's looking good. Cheers, mate. Thank you for sharing that. Nicola, you're up last, mate. Let's have a look at yours. How did you get on with yours? Yeah, mate, that looks awesome. Really nice. Little tiny red dots giving that blood spatter. The little drip across there, or little skin across the back of the mouth looks great. Eyelids as well. I can see you put some eyelids in to make yours look really derpy. That's wicked, mate. Really cool. Nice one, Nicola. Thanks for sharing that. Really good to see somebody doing something completely different with it. Awesome stuff. Cheers, Nicola. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that session. That's it for the week. So, yeah, have a nice weekend, and I'll see you all on Tuesday, okay? Take care, everyone. See you later. Bye-bye. See ya.